heading back to the bench after dealing with the monster that was the Batwing. Going back to some of the Bandai Star Wars kits that I've been stockpiling over the last little while. In this case, we're going to be working with the Yoda kit. In this case, it actually comes with both a 1/6 scale and 1/12 scale version of Yoda. Although, while the 1/6 scale version is posable, the 1/12 is static. He cannot be moved. And you are dealing with two figures. There are a lot of pieces involved, including two stands, one for each version. Got polycaps for the joints, lots of green and the light brown for the robe. This piece is actually for the larger figure, for the lower half of his robe, accommodating the fact he is fully posable. Instructions in typical Bandai fashion are very thorough and step by step. Probably take a couple of days to get the actual build done, and then will come the fun of trying to weather him up a little to make it look less like a statue of Yoda and more like, well, Yoda. And after about, 10-15 minutes build time, we have completed construction, at least, on the 1/12 scale Yoda. Now, at 1/12 scale, he isn't very big. I mean, he stands maybe 3 inches tall. Maybe. But, as you can see, there's a lot of detail packed in there. I mean, the folds in his robes. Seam fit's really good, especially considering this is a snap kit. But you can also see where some washes would definitely bring out the detail. Alright, working on the larger version of Yoda now. This one actually has options to either have him looking kind of sideways at you, or straight on. I opted to go for the side glance. It's also got an option to do either the hair on his head, like you saw in the prequel trilogy, or a bald head, like you have in the Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. In my case, I decided I wanted a more, shall we say, battle-worthy Yoda, fighting form Yoda. So, went for the eyes askance and the hair on the back of his head. Alright, raw construction on Yoda himself is done. Got his saber assembled, although it, as you can see, it needs the silver detailing work done. His cane is out. Of course, I've also got the saber hands not quite clamped together, so I can, put the saber in them before going to the trouble of actually clamping it down. And then there's the cane hand. There's a nub on top of the cane that fits in the hole there. In this case, Yoda uses his cane left-handed, whereas on the little one he uses it right. I also went ahead and built the hairless hairless head. One of the things I love about the way they did the eyes on the larger Yoda is they're detailed very easily, because there's a white insert that goes directly behind the eye socket and then a green insert that goes inside those. All in all, very nice effect. Alright, at this point, final assembly's been done. There's been a little weathering done to the two Yodas. Lightsabers assembled and painted, and we're going to call this build done. To start with the larger 1/6 scale Yoda. I do like the way his eyes turned out. I wish I could take credit. That's actually the way they're molded. His skin was given a green wash using the tester's green that fortunately I did not have to water down or wipe excess off with. His robe was given a black wash. The one issue I've got with his robe is this lower piece. It didn't like to stay anchored, so I've actually got a couple of pieces of Plasti-Tack holding it in place. For his lightsaber, it was molded in black, so I just went in and painted the details in silver. His nails/claws were given a coat something akin to ivory. His inner robe is the base kit plastic with a black wash. And his hair got much the same treatment. Only in this case it was left the plastic white and give it a black wash. Little Yoda, same basic idea, only in this case I gave his robe a sepia tone wash first, followed by a black wash. The inner robe was picked out with a darker wash. His eyes, and one of the rare times I've actually used the decals that come with the kit, mostly because it was a lot easier to use them to even think about trying to stick water slide decals in there. BB-8 over here is mostly as a show of scale for how small Yoda really is. As you can see, granted BB-8's sitting a little bit up off, they're about the same height. I fully get why Yoda here is not posable. Let's face it, the way Bandai does joints, I mean, they do a really good job with the joints, don't get me wrong. But that size model is not really going to work really well. I love the expression on Yoda's face here. Something akin to when he was either ready to face Dooku or Palpatine in the Senate chamber. Alright, at this point I'm going to go ahead and put some stills in, and we will call this one done.